What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out ShaBoom! The in-your-face race game from Haywire Group. This is for ages 8+, take about 30 minutes to play, and it's for 2+ players, which means it's a party game, right? Well, no, this is a dexterity, stacking, quick thinking, doing stuff game where you're going to be doing all sorts of races trying to get to 10 victory points. What am I talking about? Let's open it up and I'll tell you if I like it. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of ShaBoom, the in-your-face race. So first and foremost, we're going to handy dandy rule sheet. It's really about one page, double-sided. It's got a couple pictures, not really too many, but it should have you up and running in no time at all. Pretty well done for what the game is. So in ShaBoom, each player is going to get one of these little containers right here, which is going to contain a bunch of various different things, like meatballs and dominoes, and dice and checkers and little tiddlywinks and letters, various different things like that. You're going to be using everything in your tray to complete the task on these cards. If you complete the task on the cards first, slam your hand down on the table and yell ShaBoom, and you did it correctly, then you get the card and you get 1 victory point. You're 1/10 of your way to winning the game. Now the game says 2+ players. I want to give you a forewarning and also mention this a lot in the cons, or I'll mention in the cons. There is exactly enough components to play 2 to 4 players. So do not be misled by 2+ players. This is strictly a 2 to 4 player game unless you have more copies of the game. So let's set it up. We got our tray right here. We're going to put this little circular tray right in the middle. And then how the game suggests you do it is that whoever is flipping over the card, read the card out loud to everyone and flip it over and read it out. What we found is that's just not feasible because a lot of the cards, you just look at them and you know what you're supposed to do. So by the time people got done reading the card, someone else was halfway done to completing a card. So we just recommend flipping the card over and putting it in the middle of the table. So we'll just do that. So this is a stack, which means you need to put a blue, a red, and a green on top of a white checker. So let's just say we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. We go ShaBoom! And then everyone would probably stop for a second. We, however, did not do it correctly. We have blue, green, red instead of blue, red, green, which means we are actually out of this round. So someone else would then get the chance to try and do it, and the next person to do it, yell ShaBoom, do their thing, would get the card and get the point. So let's show you some of the other cards you're going to get. Roll only even numbers using all 5 of your dice. Spell react backwards with any color chip. Roll an 8 using the 8-sided die. Roll a blue 2 and a green 5, rolls. So there's going to be a couple different kinds of cards. You got spells, you got rolls, you got toss, where you're going to be trying to toss your pieces into this little container right here, because there is a container there, and it's pretty important. There's a couple special ones in here. Let me see if I can find one, where you don't actually win the card. Yeah, they're called last outs. So the last player to toss both checkers into the bowl is actually going to lose a victory point. So that'll kind of spice things up and make things a little bit different. But after each one, you're going to collect all your pieces from outside of here, put them back in there, and rinse, wash, and repeat. The other big rule that is in with this game is that you can't just like dump stuff out to look for it. You can be like, oh, where's that black checker? I can't find it. You have to make sure you're actually going through your little bowl to try and find everything. But you're going to continue to go until someone gets to 10 points, at which point they will be the winner of ShaBoom. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, ShaBoom from Haywire Group. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the pro side, the game is very simple to learn, it's very simple to understand, and I think a lot of people are going to have fun with this game. It really just is a fun, silly game where you're just going to be stacking and throwing and rolling as fast as you can and ShaBooming, and people who like slamming things and doing all sorts of being loud and obnoxious, this might be for them. I personally am in that group of people. I love yelling, I love slamming, I love throwing, so this one really is up my alley in that avenue. Also, the components are pretty nice. The little trays are perfectly serviceable. The cards are nice. Rule booklet's well done. This should not take you too long to understand, to set up, and to get going unless all the pieces are mixed together, but I'll talk more about that in the cons. I think it's a relatively cheap game. I think I saw this at like Walmart or Barnes & Noble, and it was not too expensive. So if you get it on the secondary market, probably even cheaper, which is always a good thing. It says ages 8+, and I think you could play this with even younger children as well. I'd say as young as kindergarten, even though you might just beat them pretty badly. But still, family game, yes. Gateway game, yeah. I'd recommend it as a gateway game as well. And also, if you like dexterity games, it's definitely a dexterity game. That's all I have nice to say about ShaBoom. So there is a lot of problems with ShaBoom. Now, first I'm going to go with my pet peeve. Well, let's go over this. The biggest thing that annoyed me about this game starting off was the fact that it says 2+ players, which lends a lot of people to think, oh man, this is a party game. This looks like a crazy lightweight party game. We're going to have a lot of fun. No, this is a 2 to 4 player game. They give you exactly enough components to play with 2 to 4 players. Now, you could play Star Realms, the popular deck building game, with 30 people if you'd like. But they don't put 1 to 30 players on the box because that's just, what's the word? That seems misleading. That seems, that frustrates the heck out of me, the fact that they did that, because that is not truthful at all. This is not a 2+ game. This is a 2 to 4 player game. So now I'm going to get off that soapbox, and let's focus on what I don't like about this game. Next, there's a lot of components in this game. And you know what? These components are going to get all mixed up like this. And then you're going to spend a good chunk of the game trying to figure out which components are yours. There's one particular card which tells you to get everything into this container. So at the end of that card, all of these components are going to be mixed up, which means you have to go through and sort them all out and just figure out, oh, that one's mine. Wait, I don't have this. I need to get that. And no, that's just a terrible, terrible idea. I understand what they were trying to do with the tossing, but not all of them. That's just a bad idea. Now, continuing onward, I have a nice table with raised edges, which is great for this game because you're going to be tossing things and slamming tables and doing all sorts of stuff like that. However, I have a feeling that if you do not have a raised edge table, pieces are going to go missing very, very quickly. And that is unfortunate because you do need all the pieces to play this game. Now, most of the pieces, for most gamers, will be pretty easily replaceable, but that's still really annoying. And that's not a con that I think I can mention for too many other games, where it's like, yeah, I think you're going to be losing pieces relatively quick. So just another strike against this game. I think it's way too light for game nights. I think if you're playing with younger kids, you're probably going to crush them, which is unfortunate unless you slow down, which kind of makes it less fun for you. And just overall, this is a really hard game to recommend to anybody. I have a feeling you're going to lose pieces. I have a feeling you're going to be misled when you try to play this with 5 or 6 players straight out of the gate and you find out it's only for 2 to 4. Also, the game forces you from time to time to do things you might not want to do, makes it more difficult, throw with your offhand, stand up, do stuff like that, which some people don't like. Just overall, ShaBoom is a hard pass for me. I had high expectations for it, and unfortunately, I was very disappointed with ShaBoom from the Haywire Group, one I cannot recommend. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know. Vikings or pirates? Which would you rather be? Would you rather be a Viking or would you rather be a pirate? For me personally, I would rather be. I'd rather be a pirate. I think baseball's a less physical sport on the body, so I feel like. Plus, they make more money because they don't have as much salary cap restrictions. So I would definitely go with pirates. But let me know in the comments below. Would you be a Viking or a pirate? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.